just finished the first assessment. It's about a 188-page report in which we have 40+ findings for the department on things that they can do, or things we identified could be done differently or better in dealing with the issue of use of force. And we provided them 91 recommendations on how to now fix things that are broken, how to enhance things that are working, and how to ensure that they can reduce force and have a strong relationship with their community. But after this assessment, we don't walk away at that point. We then work with the department to provide them technical assistance in helping them implement the changes that are recommended. We will give the community and the department a progress report 6 months after the first assessment. This allows you to see, as a community member, what exactly is happening within your own department, whether or not they're implementing recommendations, and if they're not, why. If there's a good reason why. If there's not, we're very independent and objective. We'll let you know that there's no good reason. But we will still provide assistance. Now, after the 6-month report, we don't leave then either. We still continue to partner with the department and the community. And we will then, at a year after that report, do a final report that tells you now, a year and a half later, where the department's at with regards to implementation. Now, during that period, we don't just disappear and come back. Teams will continually be here, and they will help, once again, the department implement some of the changes. We're in a position to provide technical assistance and training, whether it's dealing with fair and impartial policing, procedural justice. We can connect the department to the best practices and the top experts in the country to help them implement the best practices that exist. Now, all of this is important, and the key to our program is that this is an assessment, not an investigation. This is also voluntary. So the collaborative reform process, we use the word collaborative reform because it is a collaboration between the Department of Justice, the City of Calexico, the Calexico Police Department, and the community of Calexico. This is not something that will be done in private. The publications, the progress report will be public information, and we're going to be seeking in many venues information, input, feedback, criticism, compliments from the community so that we can make very holistic assessments, accurate assessments, and more importantly, identify how to proceed forward. So, but it is voluntary. Now, right now, we're in a couple places to get an idea where this is working. As I mentioned before, we have started and completed Las Vegas. And that one had over 75 recommendations we gave to Las Vegas. And quite frankly, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department implemented something like 95% of the recommendations. The remaining ones are still in negotiation with their police union. But their shootings have gone down, the relationship is much stronger, and I think if you talk to a lot of the leaders in that area, they will tell you that the progress has been very notable. There's still the kind of work that has to be done every day. We provided a roadmap. We're also in Baltimore. We are in St. Louis County, which includes Ferguson. We are in Salinas. We just announced that about 2 months ago. We are in Spokane, Washington. We are in Fayetteville, I want to say North Carolina. My team is shaking their head, thank you. And now we're in Calexico. We would expect, through the support of the administration and Congress, with our new budget coming on, that we will double, if not triple, the amount of locations next year as well. Now, in deciding whether to come here, the first thing that I did mention is that, and you heard Laura say this, that this is voluntary, which means the chief asked for it. So, as we proceed forward, I want you to really think about what that means. We have a police chief that's saying to the federal government, please come in, the United States Department of Justice, and take a look at what we're doing. And he does so knowing that we're going to look at it independently, objectively, thoroughly, and that's the best way to serve him, is to give him the truth. But he recognizes that the truth may hurt, but selective ignorance is absolutely fatal. And so not knowing can cause more damage to an organization than understanding what's right in front of you and being able to fix it so that the people trust you. And so it has to be voluntary. For me, in making my decision, if I'm going to allow us to come into a city, I don't look at just the fact that someone has volunteered. I also need to have confidence that the leadership, and in this case, Chief Bostic and the city manager have both agreed to participate fully and to make sure that they are going to lead the department through the recommendations that we identified. So we have to have confidence that there's strong leadership, that there's a will not only from the police department, but from the city, to the city manager, and that there's a desire and willingness of the community to participate. And all the evidence suggests that this would be a great place for us to do this project. Because I want you to understand, when we look at Calexico, for those that live here, I know this is home. This is where you want to feel safe. This is where you want your police department to be responsive. But there are over 18,000 police departments in this country. And not only will we work with Calexico so that it serves you better, But how we do it, the lessons that are learned from that will be a national model. The majority of police departments in this country are small agencies the same size of this police department. So not only will we work together for the next 2.5, 3 years to make this place better, but in doing so, we will help a lot of agencies. The reports we have out there now, Philadelphia, Spokane, and Las Vegas, are widely downloaded. They're printed. People are using them to do their self-assessments. We're learning a lot of lessons, and we're hoping the lesson that will come out of here is how you work in partnership with the community to transform the community so that you have stronger relationships between the community and the police department. If I can close by saying this, if we look at where we're at this particular time in our history, then I think these kind of efforts, the idea that local police departments will partner with their community, with federal assistance, because one of the things that's also very important to us at the COPS office is this cannot be the only effort in Calexico. If the department is, if any police department is looking for us to reform or transform them by ourselves, we would say that that's not what we can do. It has to come locally. We have to make sure that this effort, this comprehensive effort for the next 2.5 years, has to be part of a larger reform effort or transformational effort that's already underway. That's also what intrigues us to want to be here and why we think we can be very successful and help the chief and the city in its efforts. But if you look at where we're at as a country, right now, trust in police is probably at an all-time low. Whether justified or not, the reality is that people need to have trust in their police department. Public safety demands it. And if you don't have it, then that compromises safety not only here, but throughout the United States. So we need to do everything humanly possible to bridge the gap between the police departments and the community, to implement the kind of policies and practices that people have confidence in, that are constitutionally based, that respect diversity, embrace it, and applaud it, and not penalize it, that make sure that not disparate treatment of any groups, whether they're immigrant population, young men of color, that everyone has equal justice under the law. And if we can't do that, then we do compromise public safety. Because for me, public safety is not just the absence of crime. It must include the presence of justice. And so as we work together, we will definitely make sure that that theme, that motto, is something that resonates not only here, but throughout the country. And so I think, quite frankly, Calexico is in a unique position. For even those who wonder if Calexico can do it, whether this is a good department or a bad department, I think let's agree on one thing. There's a unique opportunity for Calexico to now rise and lead through its own trials and tribulations, through its own leadership, to be able to show the country a path on how to improve trust and confidence. Because I would tell you, in addition to serving as the director of the COPS office, I recently had the honor of being the executive director of the President's Task Force on 21st Century Policing. And as we proceed forward with this process, they are very much linked. The practices on how you have accountability and supervision and training and collaboration are all recommendations in the task force report. This is how we respond as a nation. This is how we strengthen relationships. So I'm very excited to work with the city. Please know I'm looking forward to getting to know people in the community. The COPS office will be partnering with Hilliard Hines, which is a consulting group that has some of the top experts in the country that they're putting together to serve this project. So you will be in some great hands. You will have some of the leading edge thinking and really practitioners and researchers and academics on this project to make sure that we can help serve and provide that assistance. Now, of course, we ask questions.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Moreno, Mayor of the City of Calexico, and I applaud the Department of Justice, our Chief of Police, Michael Bostic, for bringing this to the forefront. All agencies, whether they be public or private, are always looking for ways to improve. And when we get this assessment, I'm sure that all of the public, the community will have a hand in it to say, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do next? We're going to assess, we're going to evaluate, and then we're going to execute. The public agency that the City of Calexico is part of, it's a greater picture. We are involved in many aspects of law enforcement. Law enforcement in the form of federal, state, and local. We will be a premier law enforcement agency throughout our area with the help of the Department of Justice. So I know that our community, I know that our elected officials, Mr. Hurtado, Mr. Real, who are here today, are also on board for this change. We need this change, which is a big piece of the puzzle to make our police department a first-rate police department. So I thank you all for being here. I thank the Department of Justice and your teams that are here to share with the community what is going on. So with that, I will hand it over to the Chief of Police.
Thank you, and my fellow council members, no, not fellow council members, my council members, I have already elevated myself. This is it's a great day for me, and it seems kind of odd to be a chief of police and say it's a great day to have the Department of Justice coming in and being a partner with you, but I sincerely mean that. We have the opportunity we're a very unique city in Calexico. I don't think we value the treasure that we have. We're a border city. We have an international border city. We have every law enforcement agency known in America in our city. We have a great future potential ahead of us. The economy is going to turn around, and it's turning around in our city. We have everything going for us. And this piece of the puzzle is phenomenal. The talent that the Department of Justice is bringing to us to teach us to be the best police department can be. And believe me, I am not the expert. I am really looking forward to any help that I can get. But what I'm most excited about is I already have a new agency. For those of you who haven't been around the Calexico Police Department in the past few months or the past few weeks, I've had to make some personnel decisions. I got handed a mess, and I had to clean it up. And I don't look back on that because the cloud lifted. I can't describe it any other way. And the light now shines in the Calexico Police Department. And now we have some torchbearers coming in to bring some more light into the Calexico Police Department. And as long as I'm the chief of this agency, this community will always know what's going on in the Calexico Police Department. I'm going to make some mistakes along the way, I can guarantee it, because I am a human being. But I'm going to be the first one to admit it, and I'm going to ask my department to step up and do the same. We've had several meetings this morning with the staff, Mr. Davis and his staff, and the U.S. Attorney's Office. What great people, what fantastic people. I haven't been excited about much at this stage of my life because I've been through a lot, but I really am excited because I can see a path forward that I'm going to learn a lot. It's going to make me a better leader. I'm going to get to work with my community leaders and become a better leader for them. And they're going to make this path forward for us. And as we do this, the winner is the citizens of Calexico. You can trust your police department. I can guarantee it, and it's only going to get better. I really do want us to be a model agency, not just for California, but for the rest of the United States. This is so possible. I have great people in my organization. They're willing people. They sat there today listening to what was coming, and they are actually looking forward to it. And you can imagine being a police agency saying the U.S. Department of Justice is coming in on a collaborative effort. It's kind of a nice term, but they're still the U.S. Department of Justice, you know. And it is a great term, and they've taken it extremely well. 2 members of the board of directors of my POA were there today, and they're looking forward to it. This has been an amazing 6 months as the chief of the Calexico Police Department, but the best is yet to come, and you haven't seen anything yet. The service that we have planned for this city and the plan forward that we're already designing, even before they finish their review of our department, I'm excited about that, and I've always shared that with you. And I'm really proud of the media in my city. Again, I've said this a million times. In Los Angeles, I'd have a press conference and never know where my statements were going to go and what story they were going to be used on. Calexico, you're an honorable journalist, and I appreciate it. And the Imperial Valley. You tell the story like we tell it. And that's going to be a great part of moving forward in this collaborative effort of getting the community the truth. Because there's lots of people who lie to this community. It's disgusting what people say in this community, in social media and other places. And this is where the truth comes out. The truth comes out in the light, in public, one person to another, telling the truth, sharing their story, admitting their faults, and being honest about what's happening in Calexico. And now, I have some great light bearers to come and do it along with me. And it's going to be a great opportunity for us in the city of Calexico. I've already trained my wife that it's going to probably take a lot longer than I thought. You all kept saying Calexico is going to grow on me. Too late, it's already part of me. It hasn't grown on me, it's now part of who I am. I was at a car show this weekend and in the city of Calexico, and it was a tremendous experience. I mean, every part of the Mexican culture I could possibly experience was happening in the streets of Calexico. But what most importantly I'm thrilled about is the Spanish-speaking community is not even afraid of the fact that I don't speak Spanish. They come and bring somebody with them that speaks English to come and talk to me. It's really awesome to watch what's happening in Calexico. I'm proud of my officers, I'm proud of my department, and I'm really looking forward to the next few years of serving the community in a very different way than they've ever experienced in the past. So I'll be quiet and let you ask questions.
So we'll open it up for anybody who has questions.
So, Chief Boston, it's been
That professional process and is not being arrogant enough to think I know everything, because I don't. And I've always admitted that to them as well. And now I have lots of people who are going to come in that are already been chiefs of police in other cities. One of the members of our team is a former chief of police of the city of San Jose. 2,000 people who revolutionized community policing. He's in the back of the room back there. I know you're not going to turn your cameras, but here's a guy who really recreated community policing in a different way. Mr. Davis, the same thing. He's done the same thing where he's been at. These are the resources that are coming to Calexico to create whatever we want in the city of Calexico. When I say we, I mean the citizens as well. You've heard them say that. The citizens are going to be part of this process. And my officers have not balked at all. Have not been resistant at all.
You have a number of entities looking at the Calexico Police Department. You've got, since last year, you've had some private investigations going on. You have the FBI going on. You have the law enforcement in Imperial Valley. Now you have the Department of Justice. Did I say FBI? So where does it stop? Is this it? Or is there going to be more people just coming in here and just really looking at this department?
I don't think there's anybody left. I think I've asked every friend that I've ever met in my lifetime, and they're all here. I don't think there's anybody left, and actually I don't see that as anything negative at all. It's the most tremendous professional feeling as a leader to know that I've literally gone everywhere I can go. No one said no. That's incredible, because those of us in this room that are in law enforcement, that is not the norm. People do not volunteer to come help some small city in the desert. They just don't. But they see what we're trying to accomplish here, and that's why they're here. You've heard Mr. Davis talk about that. Nobody in this city has resisted what I've proposed since the moment I've gotten here. That's been remarkable. Nobody in the community has said to me, no, we shouldn't reform our department. No, we shouldn't become professional. Well, now there's been probably some disagreements on some of the discipline things, but that was a bag of worms that was handled to me. That's pretty much over. We're just about through with all of that. We'll be through that process. The officers feel it too. They'll be grateful it's finally over. So that was the worst part of my job, and now the fun comes. The fun comes creating a professional police department that serves the community of Calexico the way they deserve to be served.
Are you saying the camp has been rid of, it's been cut off, been terminated, or any more firings going to go on?
We had another one yesterday, so we're now at 6. I do have a few more cases that I still have to adjudicate, and I don't know. I mean, I have to wait and read them and see them and evaluate them. But I think I've got the majority of it. You know, as one of my favorite Calexicans who were remain unnamed said, I had on my round cowboy boots with my uniform, and he said to me, Chief, you made a mistake. He said, what's that? He said, you got round-toed boots. And even though you're shining the light, some of those cockroaches are going to be hiding in the corners, and you can't get them with a round-toed boot. So he got me some pointy-toed cowboy boots. So I thought that was pretty funny, actually. And so, you know, we're going to just keep working on it. And what I know about the people that I have left in the organization, even if some of them have some discipline and they're not fired, they're good people that have just not had leadership. And I'm going to pull out all the stops and give them all the leadership I can give them, and then if some choose not to follow, then we just deal with them as time goes on.
Okay, final question, sorry.
Yeah.
Mr. Davis, if I may. Sorry. Has, throughout this whole system created, or that's been created, are there really changes in the police department?
Yeah, so one, I'm not going to take credit for creating it. It was before my time. Great job by my predecessors and a couple staff members who's actually working on projects now. I think so. I think one is we saw just the tremendous success in Las Vegas. We know we're seeing it working right now in the places we're at. So just like 2 weeks ago, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, we announced Philadelphia. Now, the report identifies, is very critical, identifies a lot of things, deficiencies that we think are serious and that have to be fixed. But very similar to Chief Bostic, Police Commissioner Ramsey asked for the report, he took it, they, a week later announced a civilian group to help oversee the changes and implementing it. And so we know it's working because it's resulting in the departments implementing some of the best practices in this country. And we believe in the long term, it's a roadmap. So we may look at use of force in Philadelphia, how people handle mentally ill people in Spokane. We may look at policies and practices and systems, recruitment and hiring here, we'll still determine it. But all along the way, that these changes absolutely do make a difference. So we're pretty confident we're seeing changes in Las Vegas, we're seeing them in Spokane, we're still early stages of Baltimore and Fayetteville, but we're very confident we'll see the kind of positive changes that you're talking about.
Thank you.
Sir, right here in front.
Yes, so far how many agents are left in the GD?
Yeah, currently we have 30 sworn police officers, 31 sworn. So we're down about 7. And, the absolute good news is, and you probably heard this story already, but I'll reiterate it, we have nearly 100 applicants for my vacancies. And that hasn't happened in Calexico for a very long time, and I think that's because people in the community want to be part of the future in Calexico, and I'm really excited about that. I believe we're having a test in about a week and a half, and we'll go through the process. And what I promise the community is, if they don't qualify, I'm not going to hire them. We'll just carry the vacancies and we'll advertise again, because I'm not going through lowering standards, hiring people on laterals, doing all the kinds of shenanigans that were going on here. Not going to happen. We're going to get the best qualified police officers for the department. Again, I'm looking for women. I keep saying this over and over again. Our city is 52% female, and I have 2 female police officers in my department. We have to change that, and it starts with leadership. I'm not lowering the standards to hire women. My wife is a retired Los Angeles police officer, and she reminds me of that every single day. Don't you dare do that. You're going to hire the most qualified people, and if they happen to be women, great. But I'm encouraging the females that have any interest in our community and law enforcement, now's the time. You've got a couple more days. We can still apply before the test comes up, and looking forward to changing the complexion of the department as well.
By when do you think you're going to have them in place?
That's okay.
Well, if we go through the testing process, we probably won't be able to hire till probably July. We have to go through backgrounds, medicals, all the kinds of testing we have to do. And so probably the earliest would be July, but sometime in the summer we'll start hiring. And if we get really, really blessed, we'll fill them all. That's my hope.
Ma'am, did you have anything? Sir, right here in front.
Real quick question. What kind of things are going on with the Calexico Police Department that made it a good candidate for this assessment by the DOJ?
So it's not so much what things are going on as much as the request from the chief about what he wants to go on. So a part of it is you heard him updating and dealing with the starting the reform process already. And now he's asking for this assessment. So when we look at should we be in a city, we look at one, is there a need? And obviously, as identified by the city, there's a need. Do we have confidence that the leadership can navigate the department through these changes and work with the community in doing so? We also look at are the lessons that will be learned and practices that will be implemented, will it benefit the field and the industry? The answer is yes. So what we're looking at is really, I would say that our being here is not so much a reflection of the past as it is the promise of the future. And so what we're looking for is that a department who has acknowledged its own shortcomings. Now we need to identify exactly what they are, do the assessment. We can also identify what's working and then work together to advance it so that we're building a department. So that's the part that I think, as the director that I look at, is not just that the department is facing challenges, because quite frankly, all departments are facing some type of challenge. That is the human nature of policing in a democratic society. The question is whether or not the department acknowledges their own shortcomings. Are they willing to identify their shortcomings? Are they willing then to take responsibility and to fix them in partnership with the community? So that's what I'm looking at. That's the part in my decision-making process that we bring these resources. And this is a pretty significant investment on behalf of the United States Department of Justice, because we'll be bringing in, they mentioned Rob Davis and an entire team. There could be up to 10 different people at some point coming in and out of Calexico working with the department. We'll bring in experts to provide training, technical assistance, And so this is a larger an investment, and it's an investment not only as yours as Calexicans, but also as people that live in the country, is this is your taxes as well. And so we need to make sure that if we're going to invest, that there's a high return on that investment, both here in the city of Calexico and for the rest of the country as well. So I remain very excited about the opportunity. But I don't think there was any, to your answer, I'm sorry to take the long route, I don't think there was any one program that the department is doing that say, hey, we want to embrace that program as much as it is where the department is at, what it's trying to do, what it's starting to do, and where we think we can help it.
Ma'am, right here?
Yes, I'm not with the media, I'm a citizen of Calexico, and I would like to ask you, what happens if the contracts for Bostic and Warren don't go through, and now you got different management coming in? Will you still be here and do your job?
Yes, I obviously, from a federal point of view, the decision of hiring and contracts is the local decision of the government here. Our commitment to that the Chief Bostic that we have right now is for the city of Calexico and the Calexico Police Department. So I'll put it in this phrase: if the chief were to hit the lottery and walk out today, we would be here, right? If no matter, in other words, our commitment is to be here to help out the residents, the department, and the city, and that's not based on any one individual. What brought us here is obviously the leadership of an individual and a team that's working forward, but it's not going to be, if that were to change in any circumstances, we would still be here.
And we the citizens, thank you.
Sir, right here in the front, did you have anything?
Yes.
Feverishly jotting? Okay, anybody else, sir?
Yeah, the $54,000 question. Any indictments in the coming future?
Let me take that one, and let me tell you that, so what's going on here today and the COPS assessment and the collaborative review that is going to take place over the next 2 years is something totally separate and apart from the criminal investigations that are currently underway. And given the fact that those are ongoing investigations, I'm not in a position where I can comment on those investigations right now, but I can tell you that they are ongoing.
And are they solid investigations?
I'm not going to comment on the status of those cases, but I will leave that for FBI and what FBI presents to the United States Attorney's Office, but they are ongoing. Thank you very much all for coming, really appreciate it.